Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today on Plant Update, I'm going to give you all the amazing details on all my plants and see what has happened in the past week. So you want to see all the amazing updates? Please stay tuned.
When I saw the girl called Ladybug, I bet.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today on Plant Update, as always, I'm going to give you the amazing updates on every single plant that I have. And as always, we will start with the poinsettia. So here is the beautiful poinsettia. As you can tell, is growing quite a bit. We are still in the month of April. So all we're doing with this guy right now is we're just going to wait till the soil is completely dry before we water it. And next month, just the month of May, we will be repotting it, and I'll go outside and show you guys how to do that. If you've never repotted a plant ever, I've done it a few times, so I'm kind of an expert at it. I have some experience with that. So now we're gonna move on to the Easter cactuses. Sadly, these guys did not give buds this season, but hopefully by next season we will definitely have some buds. So right now, the only thing you're doing with these guys is you're fertilizing these every 2 weeks. At the end of the video, I'll show you the fertilizer that I use for these guys. You just fertilize them every 2 weeks, and you just check them every day to see if the soil needs to be watered. And I've watered these guys yesterday actually, so they don't need to be watered today. So here is the last Easter cactus right here, which this was the one I was so hopeful would produce buds this season, but it just wasn't meant to be this season. So again, just fertilize it every 2 weeks, water it as needed. All you have to do is just feel the soil. If the soil feels moist to you, then you don't need to water it. If it feels dry, then you're definitely gonna want to water it. The water I use for my plants, other than my orchids, is just regular tap water. I don't use a special type of water to water them. I just use regular tap. Easy, simple. So now we're gonna move on to the aloe, which this baby is doing quite well. It's growing quite nicely, which is always a good sign. Again, you're just watering this guy as it's needed. Again, feel the soil and feel if it needs to be watered or not. And fertilize it. I do fertilize this every 2 weeks. The same fertilizer I use for my Christmas cactuses and my Easter cactuses. Again, just feel the soil. If the soil feels dry, water it. If not, don't worry about it. So now we're gonna move on to the Christmas cactuses, because there's just one thing to expect from Christmas cactuses at this point, is leaves. Lots and lots of leaves. So right now, this guy has not produced any new leaves that I can see, but it's totally fine. I like to use clear containers. That way I can kind of see the root system and see if I need to repot it or something. Right now, everything is looking good. If you want to just keep an eye on the root system and see if there's like a lot of roots bunching up, then definitely get clear containers. You can buy clear containers, or you can make your own. This is actually from the bottom of a 2-liter. So I made my own. So definitely, if you want to make your own, you can definitely do that. Just get a bottom of a 2-liter bottle and cut off enough to have the soil in and the plant in. And that's it. Simple. And if you're doing cactuses, definitely want to put holes in the bottom. So I put a hole in each of one of these, so the water can drain out if it needs to. So this guy is producing lots of new leaves. As you can see, we got some leaves right there. Oh my goodness, right there. Got some leaves. So those are growing quite well, which is what they will do at this point. Only thing to expect is leaves, unless you're in the cold climate. Then you might expect some buds. They only do buds during Christmas time because it's cold during Christmas time. which is why they're called Christmas cactuses, but they are growing quite well. And now we're gonna go to the last Christmas cactus. This is not in a clear container because it's so big. I did not have a clear container to hold this guy. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of leaves growing here. It's insane, really. It's just constantly growing. Every day I come out here, I check the soil on each one of these. With the soil I use, I can kind of tell by looking at it if it needs to be watered or not. But if I'm unsure, I always check it with my finger just to be on the safe side. All these leaves, it's amazing. So before we go into the orchids, I'm going to show you the fertilizer that I use right now for all my plants, except for the orchids, which is Miracle Grow right here. This is a multi-fertilizer, I believe. So I like using the dry that I can just mix in with water. That's just the easiest for me to do, but you can choose from any type of fertilizer method you want to use. There's liquid, there's the powder that I use, there's the little things that actually go into the soil that fertilizes it when needed, I guess. I don't know, never gonna use them. I just like the powder because that's just the easiest for me to use, but you can definitely go online and find out fertilizers that would just work for what you need and how easy you want it to be. So now we're gonna move on to the orchids because again, the avocado seeds have not grown roots yet. So we're gonna move on to the orchids here, which this guy is doing quite well. It's doing amazing right now. It has this leaf growing right here and possible buds, which is gonna be really excited if they start producing buds, which is amazing. And then we have this one right here, which is growing a new leaf. And we got possible buds kept in there, but we got a new leaf right here. Oh my goodness, right there's a new leaf. It's barely popping out right now, so you can't really see it too well, but it's there. So yeah, a new leaf's coming in on that one. Got a new leaf growing in on this one. So next we got this big guy right here. This big guy that has been in spike for a while and has not decided to cut it off. So we got this nice giant leaf right here growing. I always look in between because that's how you can tell if there's a flower spike coming through or a root coming through, but this guy has still in spike, so maybe some new buds coming in, but also roots right there. We got some roots right there that are just growing like crazy. So again, to tell if you're having a root or a flower spike, the roots will always go through the leaves. The flower spikes will go in between the leaves, which is what this one's doing. The root on this side has gone through the leaf. This flower spike has gone in between the leaves. That's how you can always tell if you're having a root or you're having a flower spike. They always come in between the leaves. Roots don't care. Basically, they will come in through it. So here's this new leaf right here that is growing quite well right now. What typically happens with new leaves as they grow, they will be bigger than the last leaf that was there. So that is really exciting. And then we have these roots right here that are growing quite well. They're not hitting the water yet, but it's a hope that it will. And I just noticed a new root. Oh, I just noticed a new root. Don't know, you probably can't tell, but it's right there. It's right inside this big long one right here. I barely noticed it, so yeah. Definitely if you're growing orchids, you definitely want to be checking on them every day to see if there's any changes. So if something does happen, you will know it. Definitely I check my orchids every day. I check them a few times a day actually. So here is the last orchid right here, which is growing quite well. We got this new leaf which is starting to become bigger than the last leaf. It's already bigger than the last leaf. This guy's growing quite well, drinking lots of water. It has this root right here, so everything is looking good on that. And there's a leaf growing. I barely saw that. It won't show up on camera, unfortunately, but it's like that big. Oh my goodness. A new leaf coming in. That's amazing. That's what you want to see. If you've had a sick orchid, that is what you want to see. You want to see roots coming in. You want to see leaves coming in, because that tells you it's fighting. It's amazing. Oh, I'm so excited now. So that is going to be it for my plant update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Share to grow our community. And subscribe if you are new here. Hit that red button down below that says subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell right next to it so you're always notified when I put out new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.